Hey guys, good morning. What is up? Derek from BOM-BITES here. Good to be with you for another exciting episode of BOM-BITES. We're here to help you feast upon the words of Christ, one bite at a time. So today we're going to finish up King Benjamin's official address with the very last words that he speaks. If you go to Mosiah chapter 4, we're going to look at just the last couple of verses right here. First of all, verse number 29, he says, look, I can't tell you all the ways to sin. There's way too many of them out there. But he goes to verse number 30. Now, verse number 30 is a very well-known verse. He says, but this much I can tell you, that if you do not watch yourselves, your thoughts, and your words, and your deeds, and observe the commandments of God, and continue in the faith of what you have heard concerning the coming of the Lord, even unto the end of your lives, ye must perish. And now, O man, remember and perish not. So you've got this idea of watching yourselves, your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. And there's a nice little pattern that goes there. Now, as I've taught this in the past, I've generally tied it to keeping your thoughts clean and pure, like staying away from immorality and staying away from pornography and things like that. And you can teach it that way, and I think that's okay. But there's more to this. I really believe there's more to this as King Benjamin's finishing up his address. Now, as I share this with you, I actually have an exciting special guest for you. She is the mastermind behind BOM-BITES. In fact, let me introduce you to her. Ha ha! Check her out. So that's my beautiful wife, Rochelle. So I'm going to let her, she's got a unique skill set with this, and she's got some good thoughts here that I want to share with you. Actually, I'm going to let her share them with you. And with regards to this whole idea of watching yourselves, your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. So I'm going to let her teach you, so watch her.
Hi. I'm excited to help out today. I had a lot of fun this morning studying a couple of things in the Book of Mormon under the framework of something called the model, which is something created by a woman named Brooke Castillo, probably about 10 years ago or more. And about 5 or 6 years ago, she had a student in her school called the Life Coach School. The student's name was Jody Moore, and she's a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And she created a coaching program based on this model that Brooke Castillo created. And so it has been super fun for me this morning and before this, but especially today, to look at the scriptures through the model. And I'm going to share that with you. But first, I am going to read something from the Guide to the Scriptures. And it's the thing that they say on thoughts in the Guide to the Scriptures. It says, thoughts are ideas, concepts, and images in a person's mind. The power to think is a gift from God, and we are free to choose how we use our power to think. The way we think greatly affects attitudes and behaviors, as well as our standing after this life. Righteous thoughts lead to salvation. Wicked thoughts lead to damnation. And so this is the model right here, is that our thoughts, that the way that we think has power. It greatly affects attitudes and behavior. And so I just got a little whiteboard. Here's the model.
Yep.
Is it backwards?
Nope, it'll look so good to them. It'll look great.
Okay, so it's CTFAR, and that means circumstance, thought, feeling, action, and result. And this is, according to Jody Moore and Brooke Castillo, anything in the universe could fit into the model. So a circumstance is just anything that happens outside of you that usually we don't have control over. And we can change circumstances. We can change where we live. We can change our jobs. But the circumstances are the things outside of us. And then we think thoughts about our circumstances, and thoughts create feelings within us. Our bodies are designed to create emotions and feelings based on the things that we're thinking. And it's instantaneous. Like, we usually don't even notice that we have a thought before we have a feeling. From our feelings, we act, and our actions create our results. So I'm just going to share, I found in the Book of Mormon, the first one I noticed was Laman and Lemuel. So in 1 Nephi chapter 15, verse 7, well, actually just 1 Nephi chapter 15, Nephi comes up to Laman and Lemuel, and they're arguing, and he asks them what they're arguing about. And it's they're talking about the olive tree allegory, basically, and that they don't understand it. And so their circumstance was that Lehi had told them about the olive tree allegory and kind of
tree of life.
I think it
was it olive tree.
Yeah, because they were talking about the branches and all of that stuff.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna listen to her.
Yeah, so So in verse 7, they were talking about how they didn't understand the things that their father had taught. I wish I don't have the verse with me right now, but I can pull it up really quick. That might help to get some context. So I'm just going to pull that up.
And that's cool because this model, like she said, can be used in any situation. And I love how she's going to the scriptures to see exactly how God has always dealt and worked with his children.
Okay, here it is. 1 Nephi 15, verse 7. And they said, Behold, we cannot understand the words which our father hath spoken concerning the natural branches of the olive tree, and also concerning the Gentiles. And so they didn't understand. That was their circumstances, that their father had told them that. And so Nephi asked them in verse 8, he said, Have ye inquired of the Lord? And their answer in verse 9 was, We have not, for the Lord maketh no such thing known unto us. And so their thought was, the Lord maketh no such thing known unto us. So that's what they believed. And that thought created a feeling within them. And I don't know what the exact feeling was because I'm not them. And one of the things about the model is we really should use it on ourselves. We're not trying to fix the people outside of us. We're trying to fix ourselves. But it's interesting to look at models and see them in other people's lives. But I imagine that thought created a feeling like discouragement, hopelessness, or apathy. And so from that feeling, they argued with each other. Their action was to argue with each other and to not inquire of the Lord, just to kind of sit there and do nothing. And the result was that the Lord did not make that thing known unto them. And so whatever we think becomes our result. Thoughts create our results. And so then if I have time, I want to share one more. Can I?
Yep.
Okay. So Alma, the younger, we know about him in Mosiah 27. We learn about him that he was a wicked and idolatrous man, that he led people to iniquity, that he was a hindrance to the church, that he caused dissensions, and that he was trying to destroy the church. So an angel appeared to him and his friends, and that was the circumstance. His first thought when that happened was that he remembered all of his sins and iniquities. And that thought created torment and horror, the feeling of torment and horror in him. The action was that he kind of spun in self-judgment, and he thought of all the terrible things he'd done, and he was just like beating himself up a lot. And his result was to lay there for 3 days in turmoil. But the same circumstance, the angel appeared to him when he changed his thought and he thought about Jesus Christ. And this is in Alma chapter 36, verse 17. He thought of Jesus Christ and how he would atone for the sins of the world. And so that thought created a feeling of hope in Alma. And that hope allowed him to cry out. And I'm going to go to that scripture really quickly. It's Alma chapter 36, verse 18. And now as my mind caught hold upon this thought, I cried within my heart, O Jesus, thou Son of God, have mercy on me, who am in the gall of bitterness, and am encircled about by the everlasting chains of death. And so he cried out for help from Jesus. And when he did that, he could remember his pains no more, and he was filled with joy. That was his result. And then he went about teaching, and he was a great benefit to the church after that. And so his thought that Christ could save him created the action of going out and saving others and saving himself as well through Christ's grace. So the model is awesome. Jody Moore is awesome. I'm really grateful for all the help that I've received from her. If you want more information on that, you can go to jodymoore.com. It's JODYMOORE.com. Or you can look up, she's got a great podcast called Better Than Happy. And she's even got one called Tight Like Unto a Dish that talks about the brother of Jared. So that one's pretty fun to listen to. So anyway, sorry I took up so much time.
Oh, hey, no problem. More you, less me. That's good. So, see, isn't she cute? And she's not just pretty, she's smart too. So I love what she said right there with regards to the thoughts. If your thoughts really do lead to your results, so watch those thoughts. I love what was said right there. What we talked about is absolutely true. You guys have an amazing day. Share this message. Share it with other people. Keep subscribing and keep watching. You guys have an amazing day. Take care. Godspeed and bye-bye.
Bye.